President Putin sets conditions for talks to end Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Vietnam President attends APEC leaders dialogue with guests.
Ecotourism associated with fruit-laden persimmon garden.
You're watching today's news on NTV. My name is Nguyễn Thị and I will be your guide through today's latest update. Russian President Vladimir Putin and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz held a phone call on Friday for the first time in nearly 2 years to discuss the Ukraine issue. The two leaders had a detailed and frank exchange of views on the situation in Ukraine.
During the phone call, President Putin told German Chancellor Scholz that the current crisis is a direct consequence of NATO's aggressive policy aimed at creating an anti-Russian foothold on Ukrainian territory, while ignoring Russia's interests in the security sphere. Discussing the prospects for a political and diplomatic solution to the conflict, President Putin said that Russia has never refused to negotiate peace with Ukraine and remains open to restarting the negotiations, which were previously blocked by Ukraine. However, Putin stressed that any agreement to end the war in Ukraine must take Russian security interests into account and reflect new territorial realities, and eliminate the root causes of the conflict.
On the morning of November 15 local time at the Lima Convention Center, Peru, President Luan Kwan attended and spoke at the dialogue between APAC leaders and guests.
Speaking at the conference, President Luan Kwan supported the view that inter-regional cooperation and connectivity are both an opportunity and an urgent requirement for development. Accordingly, the three principles include enhancing dialogue and consensus, maintaining a peaceful environment for development, respecting international law, promoting multilateralism, ensuring balanced, inclusive, equal interests, with people and businesses at the center. The President affirmed that Vietnam is ready to cooperate with economies within and outside APEC to promote effective inter-regional connections that benefit all people and businesses.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has called for accelerating the mass production of attack drones after he supervised the latest test of various types of this weapon.
After overseeing the test, Kim Jong-un stressed the need to establish a production line as soon as possible and enter the stage of mass production, calling it an inevitable need. The North Korean leader said that the use of drones in military operations is becoming popular around the world and many countries are seeing drones achieving remarkable successes in both large and small conflicts. North Korea's new move has attracted much attention amid concerns about military cooperation between this country and Russia.
Coming up next are some updated news.
The International Finance Corporation IFC has just announced a record investment of more than $1.6 billion United States dollars for Vietnam in fiscal year 2024, focusing on climate finance to promote green transformation and sustainable development. Of which, more than $750 million United States dollars is long-term finance in the fiscal year ending June 30th. This is a record for IFC for projects responding to climate change and ocean plastic waste in Vietnam and the highest level in the East Asia and Pacific region this fiscal year. IFC's investment and advisory programs aim to address core development challenges, from food security, trade facilitation and improving the competitiveness of the manufacturing sector.
According to the report, by November 2024, Ngan Province had 147 FDI projects with a registered capital of $4.873 billion United States dollars. In the 3-year period from 2021 to present, the Southeast Economic Zone has attracted 53 FDI projects, with a total capital equivalent to $2.3 billion United States dollars, the most brilliant period in attracting FDI investment ever in the province. Among FDI investors in Ngan, there are many large enterprises with international brands such as Foxconn, Gore-Tex, Everwin, Ju Teng, Luxshare ICT. These are strong brands, have great prestige and have effective production and business activities. The strong breakthrough of FDI capital in Nghệ has paved the way for real estate projects to develop. Many real estate giants are also considering Nghệ as a potential new land after Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City.
Vietnam's efforts in gender equality in general and in enhancing the power and position of women in recent times have been recognized and highly appreciated by the international community. Notably, 59% of ministries and ministerial-level agencies currently have key female leaders, and 74.6% of provincial governments are headed by women. In particular, the proportion of female deputies to the 15th National Assembly has reached over 30%, exceeding the global average. Thanks to these efforts, Vietnam's Gender Equality Index in 2023 reached 72 out of 146 countries, up 11 places compared to 2022. Notably, the United Nations Economic and Social Council on April 9 elected Vietnam to the Executive Board of the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, UN Women, for the 2025 to 2027 term.
Ancient persimmon garden in Nam Dan district, about 130 years old, with large tall canopies and heavy fruit in the fall, has become popular check-in for visitors. With such advantages, developing eco-tourism in the right direction is very necessary.
Located on the route through many famous tourist destinations, persimmon gardens in Nam Dan are very convenient for tourists to check in. Thanks to exploiting eco-tourism, local agricultural products are easy to consume and bring higher income to the people.
I find the rose garden quite beautiful. The air is fresh. I feel like I am immersed in nature like the road to Đà Lạt city.
Although persimmon garden owners really want to strongly develop the garden eco-tourism model, they all face difficulties in policy issues. This makes the process of investing in infrastructure and tourism services unsynchronized. The famers want to have new steps from policies to develop services, promote the image of the persimmon garden outside the locality, in order to fully exploit this tourism potential.
I find the rose garden quite beautiful. The air is fresh. I feel like I am immersed in nature like the road to Đà Lạt city. The most difficult thing is still the policy corridor. Localities always support tourism projects, but to have a common solution between investors and policy mechanisms is completely different.
Despite many difficulties, people here still strive to bring many meaningful experiences in persimmon garden ecotourism, to both preserve ancient persimmon roots and bring stable livelihoods.
There should be more categories such as homestay services, accommodation categories, and event organization to attract more tourists.
When coming to the fruit-laden persimmon garden, visitors can immerse themselves in nature. However, if they arbitrarily break branches and pick fruits to enjoy, it will cause great harm to the growth of the tree. Therefore, each visitor needs to be aware of protecting the inherent values of the persimmon tree.
That is the end of today's news. Thanks for your watching and see you next time.